I'm not trying to be insensitive, and people be like, I can't believe she said. But there comes a point where you have to tell yourself, you know what? I just need to go. Like you need to go to the bathroom. Just go. Just go. You don't want to wait until
until someone has to take you or make the decision for you.
Thank you, and do everything else for you. That's real.
Right, and we're all going to face that. We're not talking about one particular population. I don't know anyone who has the ability, besides the Lord, to stop the passage of time. So that's going to happen to me and you and everyone.
That's right.
But if it's a decision that you're just kind of thinking about, really uncomfortable with, you don't have the peace about it, then I call it kicking tires. Visit every single retirement home in town. Or if your kids are living elsewhere, ask them to get brochures. If you're thinking about moving closer to them, you can do that.
And seek the Lord.
Pray about it.
I mean, because make sure that when you make that move with them, that and I know you want to get into this, sometimes that move, unless they come to you and ask, and you just assume, hey, it's my son, I'm going on where he lives, and then you get there and he has his family, he has his, obligations, and he's not neglecting you, but not giving you as much time as you would expect or what you thought would happen.
Right. So those are great discussions to have with your kids so that everyone's expectations are realistic and there's an understanding of what your life's going to be like. Some people come to the Manor because they don't have any children in town and they're at home. As you get older, you have vision problems often, so driving is a problem. Maybe just at night or maybe not at all. And then that means you're staying home, you're not visiting your friends, but you know what? Your friends are your age and they're not visiting you either. And so you do become isolated, and thank goodness for CFNT. I'm just going to throw this in because it's a huge blessing. You can't get in your car and go to church like you did before.
So there's other outlets, this station, other stations, the cable network, so people can. But that initial decision to do what is necessary for our lives is something that we have to make before it is made for us.
That's the best way. Yes, exactly. And I really like that scenario when people come in because I give tours. And I love that scenario so much better than the kids coming in, which is okay too. But they're looking and they're saying, Mom she's been alone for a while, and we mentioned this, but then she didn't want to talk about it. But we noticed a difference this past Christmas. She, she kind of forgot where things were, and we've really noticed a difference in her memory and so just getting around.
This is a state past depression.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned a mother, that. When you have the loss of the spouse, you do have that. You have the grieving, the depression, you have the isolation, and then you have the anxiety of being alone. We did a survey on our residents recently, and we asked them, what are the top 3 reasons you came to retirement living, and the Manor specifically, of course, they're our residents. One of them was security. That was one of that was at the top of the 3, security. They thought about things like getting into the building, having people around them all the time, someone right next door. They have privacy. You have as much privacy as you want, but there is someone there if you need someone. We have those emergency call cords, that go to the nurse's station if you have a physical problem. So having that feeling is what you need at that time.
So that's what individuals, whether they come to Presbyterian Manor or wherever they're looking at, those are some of the things. Well, of course, the safety is the main thing.
Yes.
And being able to realize those different things and making sure that family member feels safe, as well as you feel safe with leaving them there.
Oh, yes, that's huge. That's a big deal. In fact, I love it when the whole family comes out. I get to visit with them. They stay for a while, and I find out not just the concerns of the parent or parents, but the concerns of the children.
And that is great, because a lot of times individuals feel like they're just being left out or tossed out. Thrown away. But when the family members get involved and realize, you know what, as if I was moving in here, this is what I want for my family member. We're going to come back in a couple of minutes and talk more about, aging, retirement, and just being safe. Welcome back to Good Neighbors. You know we have a good time on Good Neighbors, and especially when Ruth is here. If you see us behind the scenes, you're like, oh my God. But we're going to get back into our discussion. And when we left off, we were talking about the family. Come on now, come on now. We're talking about the families being safe, as well as the individual who is moving into a retirement facility being safe. And at Presbyterian Manor, there are 3 different areas, and some facilities may not have the areas that you have. You have one where they're able to live on their own.
The independent retirement, right.
And then the assisted living.
We don't have assisted living. It's completely independent.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, you're probably thinking we have, besides the independent living, then we have the Perkins Prothro Healthcare Center.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a healthcare center. Now, the industry word is healthcare now, but we used to call that nursing home. Okay. But I just say that so people know what I'm talking about. But at another industry byword, the continuum of care. That's what they say now. But what we're talking about is you are independent. And then you may have some needs that come up, and then there may come a time where you do need that round-the-clock, long-term nursing care, and that's our healthcare center, and it's on the same campus. Okay. So our residents really like that. And then 2 years ago, we saw the need for the House of Hope. And that's a dedicated Alzheimer's and dementia facility about 3 minutes away from where Presbyterian Manor is located. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump to that in the sense of when someone comes to the point that they need that. How would they even recognize? Right. And there's a lot of literature out there, and I would suggest or encourage anyone that has a question on these things, because I'm the marketing director. I'm not on the nursing staff, but just to call our... You can't remember my food order. You have something wrong with you. No, that's pretty bad when I have to do a disclaimer there, but we're talking something that's very much a medical issue, so I'll say that. But if someone wanted to call our main number and ask about the House of Hope, we have a community support group. It's free and it's open to anyone in the community. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, and matter of fact, we probably need to mention this. Anyone who goes to Presbyterian Manor in whatever facility, do they have to be Presbyterian? I mean, you just have to ask that, because they'll be like, well, know. No, all faiths are welcome. In Jesus Christ, We're represented. Yes. Well, it's church sponsored, and that really makes us unique. That makes us different. But that's because they had a mission, and all faiths are welcome. It has nothing to do with admissions or residency or anything like that.
And that's something they need to look for, because when someone goes to facility, the facility organization might not have that mindset.